Part of it was the fact that I didn't have a dad. I felt like my mom was abandoning me because she was always off at work.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 celebs whose parents are criminals. For this list, we'll be looking at famous people who are related to one or more people who have committed a crime.
You know, I've heard a lot of very crazy stories, and to see somebody who's, you know, a mother and she has 3 kids and she's done a lot of wonderful things too, you know, you can overcome that.
Which of these stories do you find the most shocking? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Lindsay Lohan. While Lindsay Lohan's legal issues have often been the subject of headlines, she isn't the only person in her family to struggle with the law.
I've been there before, so there's nothing like sitting in that position, before a judge and him saying that you're getting jail time.
Her father, Michael Lohan, was a Wall Street trader working in commodities exchange. Back in 1990, Lohan was convicted of insider trading and spent 3 years in prison after getting convicted of criminal contempt of court.
I was facing 15 years for RICO when I was working on the commodity exchange, and I fought that, and I fought it, and it was dropped down to nothing. All they had on me was contempt because I wouldn't tell on anybody.
It wouldn't be the last time he went behind bars. He was sent to prison on numerous occasions thereafter for charges ranging from a violation of probation to the aggravated unlicensed operation of a motor vehicle.
Michael Lohan, that's him in the hospital gown, being placed under arrest.
He thought that the officers were gone, so he was trying to check out and leave, but they were there waiting, and they placed him under arrest.
Just when it seems like his legal troubles were over, he was arrested again in 2021 for trying to profit off of recovering patients. Number 9. Tyga. Rapper Tyga was extremely candid with his fans when he revealed that he never met his father, Stevie Stevenson.
I don't really want to know, like why you weren't in my life or not. I just like, at this point, it's like I just want to focus on my son and give him the best.
The musician's father is currently serving life in California's Solano State Prison. Shortly after Tyga was born in 1989, Stevenson stepped out of his son's life before being imprisoned in 1991 due to kidnapping charges and more. He wasn't initially aware of what all of his children were doing while he was behind bars.
I grew up with just my mom. I didn't have my dad around. Really? You know what I'm saying? No. Never met my dad.
Stevenson even had to learn that his son Tyga had become famous secondhand. At the same time, the rapper has spoken about his absent father on numerous occasions. The morose track Dad's Letter is a particularly poignant example of Tyga speaking up about his relationship with his father.
Growing up, all I wanted was a father figure. Me and mom alone every dinner.
Number 8. Kelly Pickler.
What's your name?
My name's Kelly Pickler.
Pickler.
Pickler. Pick me.
This country music star and American Idol alum had a rocky upbringing in North Carolina. Since both of her parents were MIA at different times in her childhood, she lived with her grandparents for a large portion of her early years.
She was 2 years old when her mother abandoned her, and her father was in and out of jail, so Kelly's grandparents raised her.
Although Pickler went on to become a household name due to American Idol, her father, Clyde Pickler Jr., kept getting into legal trouble. Throughout his life, he was convicted of crimes such as stabbing a neighbor and stealing vehicles. Pickler Jr. actively kept in contact with his daughter and tried to repair their relationship when he was released.
I wonder what you'd say to me.
They seemed to be in touch until his death in 2019. Number 7. Drew Barrymore. Although Drew Barrymore's dad had big Hollywood aspirations, his career was derailed by a number of arrests.
It's only fitting you should be here for the end. I had hoped for a beginning. The day's over, the dream's done.
In December 1958, John Barrymore was sent to prison for engaging in a drunken fight with his then-wife, Cara Williams. Just 3 months later, he allegedly engaged in a hit-and-run and was arrested yet again.
My own mother had to kick my father out because he was a drug addict.
And, you know, you can't believe as a kid that your father would rather choose drugs than be a father.
The 60s were a particularly turbulent time for Barrymore. He found himself in and out of prison for various charges that ranged from possession to public intoxication.
They were all famous people of the theater, and they were respected, and they were talented, and, you know, and they drank.
All of these incidents made it hard for his daughter to have a connection with him. However, Drew Barrymore did what she could to help her father with health issues until he passed away. Number 6. Drake. Drake's father, Dennis Graham, was once an accomplished musician.
I sit back, baby. I watch and I wait. Welcome me, whatever is my fate.
At one point, he even worked with Jerry Lee Lewis as a drummer. But early on in Drake's life, Graham's legal problems in the States kept him from visiting his son in Toronto on a regular basis. This fraught relationship has been brought up in several Drake songs.
We hear it in his lyrics sometimes.
I had a conversation with Drake about that. I have always been with Drake. I talk to him, if not every day, every other day.
And things didn't improve much when Graham was arrested for drug charges. While he has argued that he was more present than it may appear, it's clear that the musician didn't feel the same way.
Drake, man, I want to be honest with you, man. My service is not too good out here, man. That's like, I'm going to get around to it, you know.
Drake, man.
So yeah, that's my dad.
In an interview with Complex magazine in 2011, Drake even said that he didn't have a father. Number 5. Terrence Howard. This Oscar-nominated actor had a horrible experience with his dad early in his life.
So with this said, you tell me what it is you want to do with your life.
His father, Tyrone Howard, tormented and mistreated him on multiple occasions. And in 1971, a terrible incident would forever change their family dynamic.
What is your relationship like with your parents?
Oh, my father's wonderful, and I dream about my mother every night.
When Tyrone Howard took his family to take pictures with Santa at a mall, they were accused of cutting in line. This accusation led to the patriarch having a physical altercation with a man named John Fitzpatrick. During the fight, Tyrone Howard fatally stabbed Fitzpatrick in an incident that would be known as the Santa line slaying. He eventually served 11 months in prison for the crime. Following this grim incident, Terrence Howard's parents separated.
Because there's no way to protect your family from what might happen right outside of it.
2 children taken away. And then the switch at the end.
Number 4. Keanu Reeves. Before Keanu Reeves had started school, his father had walked out on the family.
Let me color you a picture. My mother's a costume designer. She works for Anne Murray and Dolly Parton.
True story.
True story.
Yeah.
The father and son would only meet periodically after that point. Sometime between their sparse meetings, Samuel Reeves Jr. struggled with addictive behaviors and breaking the law. In 1992, the same year that Bram Stoker's Dracula premiered, Reeves Jr. was arrested for selling heroin at Hawaii's Hilo Airport.
Close these transactions, and your future with this firm is assured.
Yes, sir. I will give it my full attention.
He spent 2 years of a 10-year sentence behind bars. In recent interviews, Keanu Reeves has confirmed that his relationship with his dad has remained extremely strained. For his part, Reeves Jr. was quoted as saying his son wants nothing to do with him.
I guess a boy Gary's age really needs a man around.
Yeah. Well, depends on the man.
Number 3. Jackie Chan. When Lee Chan was struggling with hard financial times and the recent loss of her husband, she abandoned her daughters in a Shanghai train station around 1945.
These are his parents. Jackie was born weighing a whopping 12 pounds and perhaps appropriately was shaped just like a cannonball.
She then began to try to make money selling opium at the Shanghai ports. However, her life changed when she was nearly arrested by her future husband and inspecting officer, Charles Chan.
Tell me about your father. Tell me what your father was like.
My father was a spy. Yeah.
Before he could take her in, he recognized flowers in her hair that symbolized that she had lost family members. This sight encouraged Charles Chan to let her go without pressing charges. Thanks to this show of kindness, the two were able to build a strong relationship and went on to have Jackie Chan. Number 2. Leighton Meester. The Gossip Girl and single-parent star had to overcome a tremendous amount to become the famous celeb she is today.
You know what? Listen to me. See my face. Hear my words. I am in.
Before she was born, her parents Douglas J. and Constance Lynn both participated in an illegal international marijuana operation. At the time they were sent to prison, they also knew that they were going to have a baby.
My parents had been part of a very interesting lifestyle, I guess you could say. They were in prison. Yes.
Constance Lynn Meester was allowed to give birth outside of prison. While she finished her sentence, Leighton Meester was taken care of by her grandparents. Many years after the turbulent circumstances of her birth, the actress has expressed that she doesn't judge them for their past choices.
They live the good life now.
That's fantastic. So everybody, but that's a weird place to start.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Woody Harrelson. The first assassination of a federal judge in the 1900s was actually carried out by Charles Harrelson.
The cold-blooded killing of U.S. Judge John Wood here in San Antonio rocked the nation.
He was a professional hitman who was allegedly responsible for taking numerous lives over the years. At one point, he also participated in an armed robbery. In 1973, Charles was sentenced to 15 years for slaying Alan Berg and served only 5. It was after this sentence that he was convicted for his most infamous crime. In the late 70s, Harrelson was slapped with 2 life sentences for assassinating a district judge named John Wood Jr.
Charles Harrelson, Woody Harrelson's dad, was found guilty for Judge Wood's murder.
He was reportedly hired by another criminal named Jamil Chagra, who was trying to avoid a harsh conviction.
Prosecutors accused Chagra of paying Charles Harrelson $250,000 to kill Wood to avoid going to trial.
Harrelson died in a supermax prison called ADX Florence in 2007. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.